Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and today in this video we are going to study about cytokines. So what are cytokines? Cytokines are the molecules that helps to regulate or activate any cell, helps in the proliferation, differentiation, helps to attract various immune cell to the point of antigen entry. So these are the functions of cytokines. So as you can see in this diagram, any cell that produce cytokines, it produce cytokines when it get any stimulus. So one, it gets any stimulus, the cell becomes activated for the production of cytokines. So how it becomes activated? The genes that are responsible for the production of that particular cytokines will get expressed and the cell will release the cytokines. Now the cytokine will release in the environment and will bind to the receptor present on the target cell. Now once the cytokine bind to the receptor present on the target cell, then in the target cell it can bring proliferation, differentiation or cell death. So as you can see here, in the last video also, we learned that one phenomenon occur during cytokine secretion, that is called cytoskeleton rearrangement, you can say. So why? Because as you can see here, the target cell is present here in this direction. Suppose in this particular cell, here is the vesicles where cytokines are present. Now from here, if the cell will secrete cytokine, it will release in this direction. So it cannot reach the target site and cannot perform its function. So due to which the cytoskeleton present in the cell gets rearranged for the movement of this cytokine filled vesicle to the desired location here, so that it can be released in the close vicinity of the target cell. So always cytokine is released in the close vicinity of the target cell, otherwise they get dissolved in the plasma, and due to which they get diluted and cannot perform its function. So to reach to the target cell in a concentrated form, they should release in the close vicinity of the target cell. Clear? So these are the functions of cytokines. Now if we look into the properties of the cytokine, the first property of cytokine is it is pleiotropic in nature. What do we mean by pleiotropic? This is the cell which secretes cytokines. Now which cytokine it is secreting? Interleukin 4. Now this interleukin 4 can have target on B cell for its activation, proliferation and differentiation. It can have target on T cell for its proliferation and differentiation also. It also have the target on mast cell. So the cytokine which is released from one particular cell can have multiple target cells. So this property is known as pleiotropic property. Pleiotropic means more than one target cell, more than one cells on which it can perform its function. Now the second property is antagonism. So here also one particular cell which is secreting a cytokine interleukin 4 which helps in the activation of B cells. The same cell release another cytokines which helps in the blockage of the class switching, which helps in the blockage of this process. The process or the effect of interleukin 4, that is differentiation. So interferon gamma is blocking that process. So both the cytokines are secreted by one particular cell. They have only one particular target cell also, but both the cytokines secreted by this particular cell, they have antagonistic effect. One cytokine is helping in the differentiation of B cell, another cytokine is blocking that differentiation. So this is known as antagonistic effect. Now another effect is synergies. Here also one secretory cell, one target cell. Now the secretory cell is secreting two cytokines, that is interleukin 4 and interleukin 5. Now these two cytokines together is responsible for one particular function. We call it as a synergy. Next is redundancy. Redundancy means here these three cytokines interleukin 2, 4 and 5 all are secreted by one cell only, and they perform their effect on one particular target cell only, and that is its proliferation. But this is redundancy because interleukin 2 is individually responsible for proliferation, interleukin 4 is individually responsible for proliferation, interleukin 5 is individually responsible for proliferation. So all the three cytokines are individually responsive for the proliferation. Here synergy means here for the class switching to IgE. For this phenomenon, interleukin 4 and 5 together is needed. If only interleukin 4 is present, this phenomena won't occur. If individually only interleukin 5 is present, this phenomena won't occur. So the presence of 4 and 5 together can only bring this phenomenon to effect. So this is called synergy. Whereas in redundancy, interleukin 2 alone is sufficient for proliferation, 4 alone is sufficient for proliferation, and 5 individually sufficient for proliferation. So this is one more property of cytokines. Next, another property of cytokines is cascade induction. As you can see here, the activated TH cell producing one cytokine, that is interferon gamma, it helps to activate macrophage. In turn, macrophage is again secreting one cytokine, that is interleukin 12, which helps to activate TH cell. Then TH cell in turn again producing some cytokines. So this is a cascade reaction, one affecting the another. Coming to the biological functions of cytokines, first of all, the key producer of cytokines are TH cell, dendritic cells, and the macrophages. These three cells are the principal producers of cytokines. Now, it helps in the generation of cellular and humoral immune response. It helps in the induction of inflammatory response, helps in the regulation of hematopoiesis, and also function in wound healing. So this table shows some cytokines of innate immunity. What it is giving? The name of the cytokines, the cells that secrete that cytokine, and the effect. So you can remember the table, no need to mug it up. Just in short, if you can remember, it is good. So all the names and the cells by which the cytokines are secreted and the target and the effect is given. This is of innate immunity. Similarly, this table is for the some cytokines of adaptive immunity. So here also the name of the cytokine is given, the cells that secrete that cytokine is given, and its function is also given. So now if we see the role of cytokine in the activation of T cell subpopulation, interleukin 2. Now these interleukins or these cytokines, try to remember these cytokines at least. No need to remember all the cytokines and everything. If you remember this much also, it is good. So interleukin 12 and interferon gamma, they induce TH1 differentiation, and the cytokines that is secreted by TH cell in turn will help in the differentiation and activation of macrophages and cytotoxic T cell. Interleukin 4 and 5, they helps in the generation of TH2. Now the function of TH2 is to activate B cells. Interleukin 17 and 23, they generates TH17. Now the function of TH17 is to promote the differentiation of activated macrophages and neutrophils. So remember these, interleukin 12 and interferon gamma induce TH1 differentiation. 4 and 5 TH2 differentiation, 17 and 23 TH17 differentiation. In turn, in signaling pathway, we learned that one cytokine, that is interleukin 2. So the function of interleukin 2 is the proliferation of immune cells, T cells and the B cells. So these are few important cytokines which, if you remember, it is good for you in various exams. So that's all for this video. If you found the video informative, please do like, share and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the next video notification. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.